Hello, this is Gallons Talk Show. I'm your host, SK Amoa. Today we are privileged to have Prophet William Dubin, Apostle Shedrack Amoakon, Mr. Stephen Amoa, Mr. SK Frimpong. Men, welcome to Gallons Talk Show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. God bless you for your time and always honoring our invitation. Wow. Today we'll be discussing on marriage ceremony and especially on bride price. My first question will be, what is marriage ceremony? Mr. Stephen, can you start with us?
Yes. So marriage. This is an interesting topic.
Yes.
You know. And then when we say marriage, it's simply the union between two couple or two people. Yeah.
Okay.
So legally or formally binding of two people who are in love and then have agreed to live till eternity. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically what marriage is. Yeah.
Wow. Mr. Frimpong, do you have anything?
To add up to, what my brother said, marriage, it's a union. Yeah, it's an agreement or an understanding between a man and a woman. Yeah, that they want to, be together and then build a family or create a family. So, yeah.
Okay.
That is the little I can say about marriage.
Okay. Mr. Amoakon.
No. Like my fellow brethren also said, marriage must exist between a man and a woman.
Okay.
And it comes with a mutual consent of the two of them as well as the family of both parties. So when it comes to marriage, it is a consent between two matured male and female.
Okay.
And also with the consent of the two family.
It means if they are not matured, they shouldn't venture.
No, they can't.
If they are not matured.
If they are not matured.
And how can we know that they are matured? What shows that they are matured?
Okay, maturity majority of the time exists in two folds.
Mm-hmm.
We have maturity in terms of wisdom
Okay.
and experience.
Okay.
And then we have maturity in terms of financial strength.
Okay.
Okay, so let's look at it from a standpoint that per your experience about what you have seen and then what you have also have gone through in life gives you a fair idea of how marriage should be like.
Okay.
Because basically in your environs you would have seen that there have been some marriages that have parted and you may know the reason why it actually went down the drain. And in your home too, you would have experienced your mom and your dad's relationship and marital affair. So definitely it will give you that sense of ideology, and based on that idea, you would have built on that idea to have an experience with other people.
Okay.
And then when we come to the financial aspect, we know that anyone that wants to marry should have maybe a place to sleep. That is one. And then having a basic work doing,
Okay.
which can also help to be able to cater for the woman and yourself and any other party that will come as an involvement. So basically, I would say that the maturity is centered on the temporary steps and then also experience you have gained.
Wow. So when you were talking about maturity, I was thinking it will go by age.
No.
Maturity don't go by age. That is when you are above 18 years, you should marry.
You can marry.
Yes, but so I was thinking it's by age. Maturity will go by age.
Majority of the time, let me use our constitution in Ghana. Our constitution states that if someone is 18 years, the person can marry.
Okay.
I don't know with other countries' constitution, but basically looking at Ghanaian constitution, it stipulates that 18-year-old person can marry. Now, let's assume that if you are 18 years and you have the basic needs like we discussed in our previous episodes, that you have a place on your own, a room to lay your head, and you can always renew rent, and you have a work doing, what is left for you?
Wow.
You need to settle down to live a life.
80 say when you need above 18, na oni sanyama we ya. Let me any sort of venture into marriage.
No, the person shouldn't rush. The person should work on that. So you work on getting a place, because when you marry, you will bring the lady home, with the exception that maybe your dad or your family members are ready to give you the full support. There are some family that will rally behind you for marriage, and we even encourage you to marry because they have been able to build houses for the individuals in the family. That one is a big plus, and it gives you the fast move to fly.
Okay. If the foundation is
If
good.
the foundation is good.
Okay.
But where the foundation is not good, your dad and your mom have not been able to build any facility for any of you.
And you
They
are
have
the
not been-
first person to struggle and build up certain things.
That
You
is
should
it. So
relax.
you will start with a rent, and then you will need to plan ahead to be able to renew the rent by getting a job.
Wow. Let me go to Prophet Dubin. Yes, on the same marriage.
Yeah. Apostle, I agree with what my colleagues have said. If you talk about marriage ceremony specifically, it's a ritual or act of marrying between a woman and a man. When there is an agreement, so the act of marrying, the act of coming together is the ceremony. So the act of coming together or that ritual is called the marriage ceremony.
Wow. So in a case where two guys, let me say a lady and a gentleman want to go into marriage, where the families are not agreeing, they shouldn't venture into it.
Yes, Bible says that can two work together unless they agree. So it's two people who are going to stay together. So there must be an agreement between the woman and the man.
What about
And
both
also
families?
Yes, and also both families must also agree, because when you marry the family also. When it comes to our culture, yes, in Africa we marry both family, not like elsewhere. So there must be an agreement. That's why there is always a ceremony. So this ceremony, these two families come together. They come together to perform that rite.
Okay, so
Yes,
so
that ritual.
the ceremony shows that both families.
As agreed.
Okay.
Because there's always a presence of both family members. They are there, so it shows that they have agreed together to stay together. So out of that rite, out of that ritual, that's what we call it ceremony.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So what advice can you guys give to new lovers who want to enter into marriage and the families are not supporting? Do you have any advice for them?
Let me come in with this one. You see that marriage is, let's say, an agreement between two people. So I don't want to say it's wrong, but sometimes it worries a lot, because the two will agree and then there will be a problem between the two families. But in actual sense, we all know that marriage doesn't, necessarily involve you staying together with the family. It's just the two of you. So if the two people are agreeing, why should the family also drag those kind of issues? I've witnessed certain, circumstances where in the Western world, marriage is just an agreement between two people. So far as the two of them agree, they can just call a prophet or a man of God or any renowned person to just come and bless it for them, and they are good to go.
But in Africa,
yeah, that's the problem that I think is affecting the African community. Because if the families don't agree, that means it's going to be a headache marrying, and I don't think it's helping, or I don't think it's a good one.
Yes, because I've watched videos. I don't want to use documents where you say document. Yeah, document.
Documentary.
Yeah, documented. Yes, I've watched videos, yeah, where I saw the two lovers and a pastor, and maybe one friend from the guy, or another one person from the lady, and they'll be there marrying.
Let me not cut in. Even sometimes they don't even need any friend. Where you find yourself, you just get someone who is renowned, or someone who has that, should I say power?
Just a witness.
Just a witness to unite the two of you. Then you are good to go.
But here, if you don't get two families involved, and you can't just come and say, I have wedded.
You see, also, here is the problem. Here, the families will be like, oh, I agree, I don't agree. Then a whole lot of issues. But we all can testify that, or we can attest to the fact that in marriage, it is only few well-to-do people that their family actually support them. Because the moment that union is done, family leaves everything on you. It is your own burden, just the two of you. So if problem comes, it's you and your wife.
So what advice do you have for the families who indulge themselves in those their kids' marriage?
Yes.
For me, I would say they should allow them. If it is their choices, they should respect those choices and allow them to go ahead and marry. Because after all, he or she is not going to stay with you, the mom or the dad. It's the person that he or she has chosen that they are going to finally settle with. So if you are against or you are for the motion, if it's your child's choice, you just have to let it be. Other than that, then I would suggest we stick to the foreign culture.
Okay,
me, I think, in this African community, or in our community, we cherish culture or tradition. And then we know that in Africa, we look at family. We put family first.
Okay.
And then not only just the nuclear family, we go the extra mile to even indulge the external family.
Okay.
So if you are getting married and then you don't inform the family, it looks like you are stealing something. So this is how in Africa our situation is. So to be able to get away with all this theft, that, let me put it in that way, quotation, that theft, you just have to own up and then bring yourself out, so that the family will identify you. If you embrace you or welcome you, we welcome you. If not, so it is a way of ownership. So it's like buying a property. So if you are buying a property from a family, you can't just go for that property. You have to actually come in the right way and get whatever.
Get it.
Yes. So it's a sense of ownership.
Wow.
Yes.
So if I'm getting you, it's like you meet someone's daughter on the way,
and then
and all of a sudden the daughter come back home with a wedding ring and say that they are married.
So it's not accepted here in Africa.
In Africa.
Yes. So it's like you've stolen. So let me add up. So you said that maybe you meet a girl and then all of a sudden you get married, and then you put a ring on her a ring on her finger. So it's like you were walking and then you saw something and then you took it home, and then later you were, let me say, a car. You were walking and then you saw a car, and then there was a key in it. You start driving the car. You sent it home, and then later you came back and then you said, "This is your car." So it's like you've stolen it.
Okay.
So in order to get away with all this, you have to present yourself, make the necessary payments. That's the bride price that we are coming to talk about, and then now you can take it away.
Wow.
So it's like a bid. We are bidding for something.
Wow, it's like Mr. Mako want to carry.
See, what I want to talk on both sides.
Okay.
We have parental consent, and then we have the yet to be couple's consent. Now, the reason why parents don't agree for some men, in quote, to marry their daughters, some are on a genuine reasons,
Like how?
Some are also based on selfish reasons. Now, the ones that are on the genuine reasons are simply because maybe the person is not working. And
The man coming to marry the daughter.
yes, it's not working. But I would prefer that as a family, if you spot that your daughter first and foremost had actually accepted, I wouldn't use the word love, because at the first place we don't marry because of love. I'll come to that later. Your daughter has accepted to settle down with the young man. So what do? If there is any assistance you could render to such a guy to be able to marry your daughter, do it.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the reason why I would dare a parent to do such is simply because in the future, when this guy that is marrying your daughter stand on his feet, he will be able to also support the family.
Okay.
Naturally, if we believe in Africa that if you marry someone else's daughter, you have married the family, then the family giving you a help should not be difficult.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, when after the marriage, when daddy or mommy is in trouble, I go or I run to her rescue.
Okay.
So if you help me stand on my feet to marry your daughter, I don't see it wrong.
Okay.
So coming back to the other side of selfishness, some people disagree certain marriages simply because a tribe, somebody in a tribe did something that hurt the father or mother, and therefore based on that I will not agree that my daughter or
go and marry from such
or
tribe.
son marry from such a tribe,
Okay.
which is based on a
let
selfish ground.
me come in. Sometimes it's not even that the tribe has done something. No, let me go direct, especially certain tribes that is around the voter. The Votarians, they normally, I mean, I don't know the beef or the problem that most tribes have with the Votarians, but they suffer that, I mean, the most.
You see, that point or that issue, I have grown to some level, and the reason why some parents, that is why I use the word selfishness. Anything that is not centered on love with regards to God or Christ, it is selfishness, and that is a sin. I cannot leverage someone's offense, okay, as against someone's future.
Okay.
Because the one who is now coming to marry my daughter or coming to or accepting someone else's son's son doesn't make me feel like my child is unsafe to actually cut off such a marriage. Besides, you cannot neglect or cut off someone that is interested in your daughter or someone whom your daughter has actually yielded herself and desiring to settle with simply because of a tribe. That is absolutely wrong, and it does not show a maturity in the Christendom.
Wow. Thank you, man of God, Prof.
Apostle.
Yes, I have this question, but this one I want to start from you. There are some in Ghana here. When a guy want to go and marry, or when a lady want to marry a guy, sometimes they say they want to go and do a background search from the family. Is that good? Is it a good practice? Because sometimes after they go and do all those search, they come back to cease them from marrying. Is it good?
Okay, Apostle, is very, very important question, because we came to meet this culture. Cultural aspect of our family. We came to meet it. In fact, it's good. Doing background check is good. You know, there's a reason why they did that. Even this our modern world is if two couples or two people are about to marry, they also do more this background check by going to the hospital to test their blood to see whether they are OO or this.
Okay.
To avoid this sickle cell.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the main reason why they do that.
Okay.
You know, there's some family, they have particular disease, particular sickness. Yes,
Okay.
that our forefathers used to investigate and do all this.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
they don't want their children to go and suffer
end
that
up-
kind of
okay. So
calamity.
if I am cutting
Yeah.
you per your explanation,
Yeah.
it means in the olden days,
Yes.
those background checking is now in our time.
It's now in our
the
time.
hospital that you should go and do those tests, whether
Sure.
you are not going to give birth to those sick
Those
cells.
yes, SSS,
Okay.
sickle cell people. Because I know a church.
Huh.
I know a church. If young people are about to marry, the church will take them to hospital, or
Okay.
they will ask them to go and do tests
Okay.
from the hospital and bring the results to them. Yeah, it's not necessary.
Okay.
Scientifically, I think
Yeah, it's loud boys.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
laudable.
good for us to do that.
Yeah.
So that we don't give birth to children who
children
come and
that are
suffer.
sick, yeah, they will come and suffer this kind of SS children. And I think it's very, very important. There's a reason why they do that.
Wow.
They do that. But when they come to this ethnicity and all that one, I condemn it.
Okay.
I condemn it.
Tribalism
This
and
tribalistic, I condemn it. But when they come to medical field or medical stance, yes,
you support.
I
those
support it.
things. Wow.
I support it.
If
And
I,
also, Apostle, if I add this one, as we said, as I said earlier on, when it comes to agreement between the two family, you see, you cannot marry without the consent of the family.
Okay.
When problem comes, that's where you
You
know
face
that
it.
yes,
There's a family.
there's a family. So before you enter into marriage, the family have to consent to it. They have to be in agreement. You have met a young lady, and you say, "Oh, because I'm in love with the person, I'm putting ring on her finger."
Just
You're
like
married.
that.
Just like that. No, that's not marriage. If something happened to the lady, that's where you face the music.
Okay.
You see the consequence. So the family have to agree. Even in the Bible, before you have to, you have to call somebody your wife. A father have to give the daughter to you first.
Wow.
So it means that there must be consent.
Okay.
There must be an agreement between these two parties.
Wow.
Not only the girl that, oh, I love you, I also love you. Then you've taken the girl to your home. It's your wife. No, if something happened to the girl, that's where you see where the power lies.
Lies. Wow.
let me top it up.
Come in.
Sincerely speaking with you, we should understand that marriage settings or what we call marriage over the years have actually evolved from generation or from dispensations to dispensation, dependent on issues that are confronting marriages. That is why certain things are done. But it all would have its similar or similitude in the Old Testament. You realize that when a gentleman raped Jacob's daughter, the Bible says when Diana got home and the brothers realized that she has been raped, all of them got angry and went to the guy's house, beat him to death.
It was just chop some and leave her go. No, even that one they came to beat him.
The guy, they beat him to death.
And then what will happen if you take her away?
No,
That you
so you realize
Okay.
that the family show concern with regards to whatever happens to the individual in their home.
Because
Okay.
everybody belongs to a family.
Are you getting it? So when you want to marry someone, that is why I said it must be understandable that the home I'm going into, am I accepted?
Wow.
If you are accepted, why not? If you are not accepted, then you figure out what is making you not be accepted.
Wow.
Then you know what to do about it. If you need to back out, you back out.
Wow.
If you don't need to, then you actually probe into it.
Wow.
Another thing I would say is that it is just recently that this sort of ring stuff has come.
Okay.
And that is why we put on ring.
Okay.
But we should not forget the purpose for why these days or this dispensation use ring.
Okay.
In the Old Testament, there was nothing called ring.
Okay.
And you don't marry and you are married because you are on ring. No.
Okay.
So whatever we are learning, we should not learn to exceed our learning in the wrong way.
Okay.
But we should learn and then upgrade our knowledge in how to protect marriage.
Okay.
So if we want to protect marriage, it is not because of ring that we use in protecting marriage.
Okay.
And if we want to investigate into someone else's background, like our man of God said, it is good. But with what intention are we using to investigate the person? Now, are we using that medium to investigate so that we will let them both understand that both of you can't marry because of ABC? So you need to find your way to let this one also find out his way in a peaceable note. Because these days the way the church go around or go about handling these cases is actually putting a lot of people in jeopardy. Because you realize that how it is discussed, it makes one gets offended. So if the church is listening, then they should listen well to know how they go about it. Because if you don't want your son to marry me because, or your daughter to accept me simply because of my job, or simply because of a tribe, or simply because of a disease, then who should marry me?
Okay.
So if at the end of the day we are being selective because of a disease, then who should be left for marriage? That means that we are segregating wrongly.
Okay.
So what we need to do is, what do we do to cure? If there is a cure, how do we go about it? Then we kill it or we cure it, and then let the people settle. The only way you can say that you will not agree for them to marry is because of this excess stuff.
Okay.
If the man is X and the lady is also in that same tangent, it means that they can't even give birth.
Man of God, I don't want to go there. Thank you.
Yeah.
You have
I
something?
want to add up to what he said about the ring factor.
Okay.
You know, in this modern world, even wearing of ring is like a fashion.
Okay.
You know, we have people who wear rings, but they are not married. So just that now, if you are married and then you are wearing a ring, it's just like a mark. It's just like a trademark to show that, oh, I'm engaged or I'm married. So that if you meet somebody and then the person gets attached or like attracted to you, it can be a symbol that you are already engaged. And then looking at this modern world, you know, the lifestyle that most of us are living, you know, peer pressure and all that is compelling the youth to actually engage in sexual relations with people that in turn causes adverse effects on their lives. So the ring factor, when you meet somebody and then the person is wearing a ring at that the left side, that shows that it's like you meet somebody and then the person is wearing a ring. So it will tell you that if you go into this relationship with that person, it is your own problem because the person is already married. And then there is a mark that shows that he is married.
Okay.
And so I'm talking because of that sugar daddy, sugar mommy things that is going on here. And so if you meet a married man and then as a young lady you want to venture into that person, it's your own problem because he is already married. And then you one way or the other you are interfering. So if there is any consequences and then it comes on you, it is your own problem.
Wow.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
So let me add up. You see, talking about the background check on all those stuff, it's very necessary. But then sometimes, you see, it's not sometimes. Some people I can give references, but I don't want to. I know a certain people who are very renowned and they've been married for about, let's say, if I won't lie, let's say 20, 25, 30 years of marriage and no children.
Okay.
And they are very happy. In fact, people jealous their union. Yeah. So if we go into that side and say it will affect the children, then that means that union, it can't be. You understand?
I'm not getting you.
If we go and do that background check and we factor it that due to childbearing, so we can't be together.
Okay.
I mean, then we have, dissolved that union.
Okay.
But that union could also work out in some way or the other.
So that means we shouldn't go too much into background checks?
Oh, you can go,
You
but
can
after
go.
you found out,
can
you
go.
can make your decision and be together without giving birth. Because there are children, there are so many children in the orphanages. You can just go and adapt, and the two of you take good care of it as your own. Sometimes there is more blessing in that, even more than you yourself, giving birth. But
Wow.
as my senior brother said, selfishness. Some people don't want
Yeah.
to waste money on something that is not basically their seed. So sometimes it's as a result of that. So we want to have children of our own. It's not compulsory to have children of your own. If you are privileged enough to be, sane and fully fit to do it, you do it. But if it doesn't happen, I don't think that should be a problem why you shouldn't be with someone.
Wow. So they can go in for the orphans.
There are so many people out there. If you go to the orphanages, we have so many children there that they need people to at least also show them that kind of parental love.
Wow.
So if you always go by, I want to have my own children. That thing, I think last during our discussion, something like
Yeah.
that popped up in
Yeah.
the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and God killed the man for that.
That's Genesis 30.
Okay.
God killed the man for that. So sometimes we shouldn't basically focus on having our own. If we are supposed to be, or let's say we agree that we want to be, and we go and check, and maybe due to
Such
this,
factor.
we can still be together and maybe adapt
and
yeah,
show love
and
to-
then show
yeah.
love to that child. There is more blessing in that one.
Okay. Thank you. Please
Yeah.
finally come there. We'll go on the main topic. That is list. It is really disturbing. Bride price.
Before we jump onto our commercial break, I would like to chip in this.
Okay.
Like you said, the purpose for why we go to search background should be more clearer. If we are going into search for knowing what entails medically, we should also understand and then also figure out whether it is curable.
Okay. So that
Okay.
means those
We should
things,
not
some
only-
of them can be cured.
Yes, majority of them can be.
Like
That is something like if it is either gonorrhea.
okay.
or,
That family they are fan
syphilis.
of having gonorrhea.
Are you getting the point?
Okay.
Gonorrhea or syphilis or
Gonorrhea
candidiasis.
yeah, family genes.
Candidiasis. Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
Candidiasis and
Okay.
those other diseases that we know definitely that they are curable.
So what
Sometimes
about HIV?
HIV is also curable.
Yeah,
You see, where knowledge has not abound, that is where we try to apply faith. If knowledge abound, you don't need faith to do anything.
Okay.
Are you getting the point?
Okay.
So knowledge is that what brings about the disease is a viral. If that viral can be taken out from the body or the immune system, if it can be done, then let's go for it.
So an HIV patient have right to also marry.
To marry.
Yes.
Where I'm coming from is that we should not let it be like after going to check the medical stuff, then we stigmatize the person. That is the main thing the church does, and I'm not in support of that. If some people want to marry, let them know, brother, sister, the man or the woman has this. So,
Yeah.
do you still prefer getting along? Let the person take his own decision, but don't make it sound like the person, when you go, you die early. That kind of fear becomes a propaganda on the couple that want to get along, and that is wrong. Sometimes even the background check goes to the extent that the person is not well to do, the person is not rich, so
Okay.
such a person stay away from such a person.
So
I remember
poverty
this
now becomes
thing.
a disease.
That is it.
Some people even go to the extent of saying that busua we will be who are you
Yeah,
to
yeah.
judge?
It's not done
Yeah.
like that.
And then
I got
sometimes to like when the family is rich, let me use the lady's side, and then you, the man coming in, is not all that rich. So it will be like even your sister got married to maybe a minister's son or something, and then
So in the family,
you are
as in
going
like-
in for this guy. So it's like incompatible for the two of you.
Wow.
And
So
so
those kind of
Yeah.
acts should be stopped.
should be stopped.
Yeah.
We are advising parents to look at the acceptance of your daughter and the acceptance of your son. Respect it, adore it, and let them rather be counseled.
Yeah.
Let them know the consequences for whatsoever decision they have taken, so that afterwards
they will
It
know
doesn't
how
also mean what I have seen many years down the line is that when we give you the counsel and you still push ahead, when you face the problem and you come back, we told you.
Say, catch it up.
We told you and you force yourself in.
So back to my point. You see that I said that the family will be with you, but when there is an issue, that's when you know that you are alone.
Okay.
So you see that all these things amount to
they let you
factors.
feel like you were stubborn, but every
It's choice.
humanity
It's a choice.
is made to adventure.
It's your choice.
So being
Right.
adventurous
I also-
doesn't make it wrong.
let me add that.
Last one, then you go to the list.
So with this, okay.
The
So
bride
when you
price.
have this decision between the two of you, now irrespective of your economic stance, like either rich or poor, afterwards you have to be cancelled, or if furthermore, like you have to be given some opportunities to broaden your wealth. Like even if the guy is not working in a lucrative or doing a lucrative job, you have to actually help as a family.
As
you
a
have
family,
you have to
because
help
the person is coming into the family.
to
So
get
So
a
you
better
see why
job.
I made that statement that if that problem is not prominent to, we will be compelled to follow the Western world. Because if I bring the one that I prefer and family is going to be against it, then that means I'll be compelled to go my own way.
We will run
will-
away and go and marry.
And we will start marrying. That's what we will start marrying.
and that will not
Without
be
the
helping.
consent, because if you bring and you are going to say, I know some families that the lady has brought about 15 guys, they will say no.
Yeah, it's also
So if it
make,
continues like that,
it's like
I
you
mean,
are the
it's
one
going to
going
be
to
a-
settle with the
Aha.
person, but it's not
So
done
it
like
continues
that.
like
sometimes
that.
it affects the ladies.
If it continues
Yeah.
like that, it,
Yes.
it affects both sides.
Yeah.
Me, I even know a guy as at now. He is almost 38.
Yeah.
And any lady he brings home, family will say, oh, this one.
Me, for instance, like this, my blow that I received was even coming from a church leader. A church leader
Yes, what
told
happened?
my lady to be, simply because I am not in the church.
A church member.
I'm not part of the church, so therefore taking the lady out of the church is not going to help. That was
Yes.
number one. Number two, if I will agree to take her, then I have to be part
Of their church.
of their church. Not only part of their church, to be a pastor or a leader in the church.
Yeah, my own was also like that.
You see, and then the third aspect was that the lady was not in the country. If she would come down, I would have to be well established before she comes. Either that she will come to suffer. And this man of God,
This
I'm talking
man
of,
God.
actually convinced and persuaded my lady, who was supposed to be I will say that I have already gone to even paid for because if you go into knocking, you're already partially, let me say, fully married to the lady.
Okay.
Convinced the lady and then pushed another man of God to marry this lady.
Wow. Thank you.
And this thing is-
Let's go for commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Yes, recently I've noticed something, especially on the media, social media, where you see a wedding ceremony going on or being performed, and you will notice that the list that they got from the family members, when you see them presenting the items to the lady's family, you see so many things. They will be packaging them in a certain way, and I think this has put fear on the youth. Is it good for us to be doing those things nowadays? Man of God, prophet, can you start with us?
Apostle, God bless you. In
Thank
fact, if you see what is going on nowadays, some of us who are not married, in fact, we are shaking. We are shaking because if you check the size of your pocket and you see what is going on,
The new dance that has come to the system.
In fact, but here I want to take it from the point of in God's view.
Okay.
When it comes to bride price,
Okay.
we have cultural aspect of it. Yes, I'll come to that later on. But here I'm talking about, because we are all Christians. Now, there was never a place in the Bible where God commanded a bride or somebody going to marry from a house. God did not command them to present a list. It's not in the Bible.
So list taking is not in the Bible.
It's not in the Bible. If you pay your bride price,
It's not in the Bible.
Yes.
Actually, even paying of bride price came as a result of raping.
So
What?
So-
As a result of raping, or as a result of sleeping with a lady. Okay, like we said in our previous episode.
Like you need to pay 50 shekels or something.
That is why you do that.
So that means that if you pay bride price, that means
No.
unless you've raped the lady before you
No,
be
Apostle, let me
forced
finish.
to pay.
Okay,
Okay.
let
me land
prophet
then.
conclude then.
Let me land and you understand or you know where I'm coming from. God did not command a bride's family to present any list.
Okay.
This is man-made.
Okay.
It's man-made. Yes,
Ebusuani person omo ji omo ti na omo yes.
totally. Now, bride price were meant for girls who were virgins. If you are going to marry and the person is a virgin, you have to pay a bride price. So it's not meant for virgins.
Okay.
Yes, according to the Bible,
Okay.
it was made for only
It's getting
virgins.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, but also, are they virgins?
No, you see. I want to quote some scriptures.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. Let's go to Genesis chapter 24, verse 15 to 16. I just want to read. Somebody may say, "Oh, yeah, what are they saying? What are they saying?" But it's biblical. Genesis 24, verse 15. And it happened before he had finished speaking, that behold, Rebekah, who was born to Bethuel, son of Micah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with her pitcher on her shoulder. Now, the young woman was very beautiful to behold, a virgin. No man had new hair, and she went down to the well. You see, we only pay bride price if the woman is a virgin.
Okay.
If the woman is not a virgin, you don't have to pay any bride price. You know what we present. You see, it's on the man. For instance, if I'm going to marry apostle, maybe his daughter, I, the groom, I have to present something as a gift to the family.
Okay. So it shouldn't be
Yes.
force or
It
No, it
shouldn't
shouldn't
be
be forced.
from the father or the family of the bride to present
forced.
a list. Hunhundious list. List.
Okay.
And some lists. If you see,
Huh.
it's more than BC comprehension. You read, you not finish.
and some of the terms you won't even understand.
You see, when we talk about that of Rebecca, when Rebecca or Isaac married Rebecca. Now, let's go to Genesis. The same 24, verse 52 to 54. You see, when the servant of Abraham went and saw Rebecca, Rebecca took him to the family. And the man told his story to the family. And when the girl agreed, do you know what the servant did? Abraham gave the servant article gold and silver to be given to Rebecca and that of the mother. The parent did not present
A list.
a list. So it means that if you are going to marry, you as a man, as a groom, you present a gift to them. Jacob, when he saw Rahel was beautiful, wanted to marry Rahel. He told Rahel's father that I will work for your daughter. The man did not present anything.
Okay.
The man did not present a list to Jacob.
So any gift that the man gives to the family of the bride should come from the man willingly.
Willingly. If a father present list to a groom, that father is selling the daughter.
Okay.
Genesis 31, verse 14 and 15. Then Rahel and Leah answered and said to him, is there still any portion of or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not considered strangers by him? For he has sold us and also completely consumed our money.
Okay.
So Laban made Jacob to pay bride price by making Jacob to work for 14 days for both of them. So
14
as
years.
yes,
14
so
years.
14 years. So as a father, if I come to your family
And you do this to me.
and you do this to me, you present list, and you present list to me, you are selling your daughter to me. There is one person in my church. They went for list, and the father of the girl told the man that his lists are two.
Hey.
His lists are two. One is the family list, and the other list is he has taken care of her daughter. Her daughter has been able to complete SHS. He took her daughter to learn trade. Based on that, or Tenica,
Okay.
he's taking less for that. The man has to pay that expenses. If you do that, you are selling. So because of this, marriages are not lasting. Why? If you read Exodus 22:16-17 and Deuteronomy 22-29, especially let us emphasize on Exodus 16-17. Bible says if you pay bride price of a virgin, you have no right to divorce her. Now look at our marriages.
Okay.
They are divorcing. Marriages are breaking. Some people, their wedding lasts for only 1 month, and now the marriage has torn into pieces. Why? Because you have sold your daughter. And if you say something to me, I have a way of using it.
Okay.
But Bible says if you pay bride price, you have no right to divorce. So marriage, when you marry, is forever and ever. There must not be divorce.
Wow. Thank you, man of God, Mr.
Yes, let me
Mr.
add to-
Okay.
Let me add to that. What my man of God said, okay, if you read the scriptures concerning bride price, like bride price according to the Bible is all about virgins, like he said. If someone's daughter is a virgin and you break her virginity, you pay bride price.
Okay.
If someone's daughter is a virgin and you are going to marry her, you pay bride price. Now,
So what's up?
that
I
bride
don't want
price,
to interrupt.
yeah,
Go
that
on.
bride price, we have it in two folds.
Okay.
The Hebrew connotation gives us one to be matan,
Okay.
and the word matan is where one marries a lady out of sincere heart,
Okay.
and then he offers what we call matan,
Okay.
like our man of God said. But that is even based on his own free will. He coming on board to marry your daughter. He offers such for marrying the daughter. And that is what he quoted from Genesis, that Abraham's servant gave out, because there were things Abraham himself prepared to be given to the family.
That's of the groom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is what it is. That is what we call matan. So from the guy's free will, he offers to the family that I appreciate the fact that you've been able to take care of your daughter from so and so time to so and so time. So that is more, if it is today, we will say, I'm compensating you.
Okay.
But in the Hebrew, it is matan.
Okay.
Now, and when we have one we call mohar.
Okay.
That mohar was what he quoted in Genesis 16. That is, when that happens, then our father has sold us.
Okay.
That comes in a form of cash. But you realize that after, the reason why the ladies were like, our father has robbed us and has sold us, is simply because when the guy served, he was supposed to marry the lady he has chosen.
That's right.
That's Rahel. But the lady he chose was exchanged. The night the guy went into bed with the woman he chose, which was supposed to be that day, like I said the other time, that when you see the nakedness of a woman, or when you sleep with a woman, you are actually a husband to her.
Okay.
From that day forward.
Okay.
When the guy got up the next morning and realized that no, this is not Rahel, he was grieved. And he went straight to Laban. That why did you do such a thing to me? And then he said, in our custom, the younger one cannot marry and leave the elder one. And he said, no, I came to this home, I saw the elder one, and I chose the younger one. So you should have allowed that to have been. And he said, then if you want to do so, you have to serve another
7 years.
7 years. Now the scripture was clear that Laban did that simply because he doesn't want Jacob to leave. Because there was a benefit he was deriving from Jacob. The Bible says Laban came to a point to understand that because of Jacob, God has blessed him. So out of the blessing he was receiving, he decided then serve another 7 years. After 7, now it was up for the guy to take them away. Now, what do we learn from here? That is Moha. He rendered now a sacrifice, but a sacrifice with his sweat as a cash, okay, to take the lady, which was not supposed to be so. That was where the women were complaining that, you have sold us.
Wow.
What you did was wrong.
Wow. Thank you. Mr. Stephen, come in.
Yes, so to add up to that, when a family presents a list to the groom, basically it's a way of selling, as my senior brothers have said, it's a way of selling the lady.
Selling.
Yes, and then after that, the consequences, we should think about it, because there is a latent consequence. It's not direct. It is indirect, because when I say it's direct, it's like the man doesn't like the woman, and then you have gone. But I'm saying it is indirect or latent because the man will feel like he owns
you,
the lady now.
Okay.
Now, what he wants or what he feels like doing with you, he will do it. That's where now. That's why now we have that abuse and all that, and cheating and all that.
Okay.
So this is also part of the reason, the problems most of the married people are facing. Yes. So when I came to your family, they gave me a list, like they backlashed me indirectly. They took cars, cows, and all that, even houses. So I own you now. Now I feel like if I feel like cheating, I can cheat because I've already paid for you already.
Okay.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be so. But I think the list has to come based on the economic or the financial strength of the guy.
Okay.
So for instance, if maybe your daughter is coming to get married to maybe the president's son or somebody who is well to do, now you can actually look at the financial strength and then present a list. But with that, you don't have to put a straight condition to it. It should be flexible enough that, okay, because I know even if they are requesting for, let me say, a cow or something, they mention the number of, or the number of cows they want.
I think, that one is cultural aspect of it.
Yeah.
Our culture. So
Yeah.
it differs from tribe to tribe.
You see,
Yeah.
the truth is that
But
if we are looking at it from even culture, like we are talking about, are we hinging our culture on God's stance, or we are hinging our culture on selfishness?
Okay.
Because I have taken care of.
When you bring God's standards, so on love, if
That
love
is it.
is in it,
It's in it. You wouldn't
wouldn't do
go
that
that
to your
extent.
fellow.
That is it.
Apostle, when you bring
sorry,
God's
let me come
standard into it, it becomes a sin.
If you do,
It's a
If you
sin.
bring
God's standard to it.
standard
It's a sin.
to payment of bride price,
It's a sin.
it become a sin. Yeah, because if you read Acts chapter 5, verse 29, Bible says we have to obey God than man.
Okay.
So what is God saying? concerning bride price.
let,
What of bride
let
price?
me let me add something.
Yeah.
So it should be like a gift. It should be like a gift. You are gifting the family something for coming to marry
Yes.
the daughter.
Yes.
And then one way or the other, when maybe they present you a list and then it is above your strength, and then later you're able to afford pay the bride price, and then maybe something happens in the family, can the family come back to ask for
help from you?
help or
can't.
support from
No.
you? So it is wrong if maybe there is a straight condition attached to the list. It should
Wow.
be flexible enough.
Wow, because
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
Let me chip in this.
Because of time. I want
A man
Sami to-
who. Okay, let me.
so-
A man one time had a gentleman who came to his home to marry his daughter. Could you believe this man never charged this gentleman anything?
Anything. Okay.
He never gave the guy a list, and then told the guy that since you claim you want to settle with my daughter, do you know her very well? He rather interviewed this guy as to whether and to which extent does this guy know his daughter. And after having interviewed the guy and gained concrete reason for why he should release the daughter to him, he then signed a contractual agreement. And this is also called a matan. But the father did not open it up to the gentleman, but he rather signed a contractual agreement. It is a contract between you and my daughter. But you are going to tell me in the next 10 years to come how I will see my daughter.
Okay.
And then the guy wrote from his own will, not the man telling him what to do, but the guy initiated writings to let the man know, since I am interested in your daughter and want to settle with her, I would like to, in the 10 years to come, coming back to this home again, this, that I will do
happen
for your
Wow.
daughter.
So very quick. We shouldn't.
So,
quick.
the man agreed, signed with the guy, and it was court endorsed.
Okay.
And afterwards, as it stands, the guy, beyond all that he wrote on paper, has been executed, to the extent that the guy has come for all the family, and they are now in London as I speak with you.
Wow.
You see, so if you make the thing so much liberal, as the scripture says, wherever the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
Okay.
Then it means that in that home, in that house, liberty will prevail and men will live in comfort. But if you charge them, trust you me,
They'll pay you back.
they'll pay you back.
So before Mr. Frimpong will come in, I want to ask, does it mean that we shouldn't price we shouldn't put price on
Our women.
our women or our girls?
Yeah. So
Okay,
when
yes.
you put a price, it's a way of selling.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, that is why I started with a submission that marriage is an understanding between two people. I wasn't actually, boycotting the fact of the consent of the parent. But you see, when the consent comes in, that's when all these stuffs normally pops up.
Okay.
So, first of all, I would love to, it's something that, let's say, opinion. Okay, first, if someone is coming in for your daughter, that person is doing you a favor, because when you give birth to a child, as a parent, it is your responsibility to take care of that child till the day you depart from this earth.
Okay.
It is your responsibility to do that. So if a guy happens to meet your daughter and per understanding, they both come in agreement that, oh, we want to be together and also start a family on our own, it is up to you, the parent, to rather support the guy. It is up to you, the parent, to rather support, not the guy per se, but supporting the guy and supporting your daughter as well. Because they are now coming to start a family. You, the parent, you have started and you have given birth to, multiple children. So you know how it takes to run a family. They are the new people coming to start the family business. So you will have to, let's say if someone is starting a business, that person needs a startup capital in order to be able to start that business. So they coming afresh like that, they rather deserve to earn something that they can start the family with. Because I'm coming in for your daughter and I'm going to start a family with your daughter. One way or the other, maybe you will be gone in some few years. Maybe you have some few years left on earth. So now your daughter becomes my sole responsibility. So you tasking me again for your daughter, and in case you are not there to defend your daughter and anything happens, already you have taken that money and you have squandered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if anything happens to your daughter, who is going to question the guy? And even if you are there, how can you question the guy? Because you've already taken that money already, or you've already taken that price already. So instead of tasking them, I think we should rather assist them to start something on their own. So it will be like a handing over ceremony. You, the father, you hand over your daughter to the husband, because in our culture, women tend to call their husbands daddies. Okay. So that means you, the husband, you become a father to the lady. Not as in biologically, but definitely that father will depart. Because the father is old and aged. So definitely someone will have to.
If you are not dead,
Yes.
in their house.
Yes, you the man, you become
are
the
not
father.
there.
You become the father. So you handling over your baton to someone, you have to give the person a certain pace so that the person can move with a certain amount of speed towards progression. But if you rather take from the person, you will hinder the person's speed. Maybe the person is supposed to achieve certain things within certain short period of time. But imagine all that money you are going to waste taking as bride price before you come for engagement, before you go for wedding, before you go for refreshment.
Even at the knocking stage.
So just imagine.
They spend some money.
So
there.
just imagine, are you actually helping them or you are rather depriving them?
Wow. Thank you. Finally, let's
Apostle,
conclude.
Finally, families are overburdening young men on this issue of bride price. Young men are not able to marry because of this bride price. I tell you, some of them have dated, some people, they've dated for about 10 years without paying bride price. Why? Because of the burden. You see, as we are here, we are all men.
Yeah.
We are all men. If I ask you that, why are you not marrying your woman? You tell me because of this, because of this bride price. After paying the bride price, the ceremony alone, this
can buy land.
Our modern
And build single room, self-contained.
Our modern world, our modern Ghana, marriage has become a burden. It has become a burden. During the traditional ceremony, food that you prepare, drinks and all these things.
And now cars are now involved. If you are doing it, you don't get posh cars.
You see, after paying your bride price, I saw somebody's list. If you calculate the money, it's more than 10,000 Ghana cedis. I'm telling you,
100 million.
100 million.
More than 10,000.
That's the old currency.
Money
100
on
million.
it, rank has not yet come.
It's a burden.
You
it's
see,
a burden.
so families are
burden.
overburdening people. You see, bride price, when it came from the Bible. And I want to read again. Exodus 22, verse 16 to 17. If a man entices a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be his wife. So here we are talking about virgin. Listen to the verse 17. If her father utterly
I don't want
refuses,
to go there because of time.
if her father utterly refuses to give her, we give her to him. Even after paying, if you lie with a virgin, you have to to pay that bride price. And in Deuteronomy, it talk about 50 silvers. And even after paying, the father can refuse to give the person to you.
Yes, that is to punish
That
you.
was what the
is
other
to
day.
punish you.
And they tell you from doing another one.
Yes, Apostle. That's how it is. So now, somebody, your daughter, Your daughter has gone. She has done soon. She has been with over
10 years.
50 men.
Huh.
Over 50 men did not marry her, and I'm come to marry her for you, and you presented to me a list that I can't even read, a list that I can't even afford. Why don't you agree as a father? Why don't you agree? Oh, my daughter, are you in love with this man? She said yes, as the family of Rebecca did.
Yeah.
Give the woman to the man willingly.
Wow.
Where there is marriage, you see, if there is marriage, you see, a marriage is when the woman agrees to your proposal and the father also back it. Period.
Thank you.
You
Please
see,
come in.
where I was
Because of
coming in,
time.
I'll read Numbers chapter 30, the verse 10.
Yes, the conclusion I'm
Yeah.
giving everybody like 30
It says,
seconds.
and if she vowed in her husband's house, or bind her soul by a bond with an oath, and her father heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband had utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vows or concerning the bond of her soul shall not stand. Her husband had made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her. Now, if you read this scripture, he is talking of and making emphasis on who a husband is, who a father is. Like my brother made mention of, the man or the father is handing over the daughter to you as a form, not only as giving her to you, but also a continuation of where he is living or where he's pausing.
Yes, as Frimpong said.
Yes. And if that matter is obvious that you want to see in the next 5 years, your in-law should be able to be on a platform where it is recognized, then you need to support the man.
Okay.
So that the pace at which you want to see them will be more stronger, and he will glow for you and your daughter.
Wow.
So
I think
this
you have
is
made
what
your point.
I prefer every father and every mother to do than just giving them the list. Like we keep saying, giving list is not biblical, it's a sin. And for that matter, it should not be encouraged.
Wow. Thank you.
A mock.
Yes, thank
so,
you.
So basically, if you're accepting somebody into your family, okay, it means you love the person. Okay, so now your daughter has presented a guy or a man into the family, and then you say, okay, I'm accepting him. Now he's part of the family. So if you really or truly care or love the guy, you shouldn't present something that will frustrate him, like the long list that we are talking about. So you ask the guy, can you afford, or what can you bring, or what can you bring on board? So if the guy can bring something more, that's why I made mention that you should look at the financial state of the guy. So if you know that the guy owns businesses, has cars, Lamborghinis and all that, then you know that any list that he can even do more. But if you know the guy is like starting up, as my brother said, you shouldn't frustrate him. Or else, if he's able to actually afford it, now he owns the lady.
Yeah, and some guys are even committing suicide after the wedding.
Yeah.
Because they will go and borrow money.
They go for
Yeah,
loan for
and all
this
those
list.
things.
Yes.
It's
So,
really outrageous.
it's so good.
So
So-
that's what I have to
Wow.
add.
Finally, Mr. Kojo.
So as I was saying, even let me go back to the olden days. Maybe I may be young, but I know a lot of things. In the olden days, when people are about to marry, let's say when people are about to, we see them as starters. They are now coming to start the race of life. So the father will call you the man, and ask, are you ready for this? If you are ready, they ask the lady too, are you also ready for this? If the lady is also ready, they give you a piece of land, both of you. You isolate yourself from the rest of the family, and then you go and start your life over there. So that piece of land, you can start little farming, you can build on it, and then you can start making your family. The little that the family also have, they also come together, and then they use to support the new couple or the new people who are beginning life as it is. So the beginning of life is supposed to be, it's supposed to be something that every fresher needs to, have something to elevate you or to help you with the pace. That's why the accounts have this. So if you place the person or the couple on a higher grounds, it will be easier for them to maneuver and excel in every aspect of life that or any challenge that life throws at them. So I would say that as they say, so instead of, I don't know where this listing and this pricing and all these things came from. I don't know how it came into the system, but I will advise that we go back to the old ways so that at least we can leave a legacy behind.
Thank you for today. Maybe you are watching us, you also have your opinion. Yes, we really want to know. We want to know your opinions. You can write it. If you can write it at the comment section. If you want to send it by audio, the number is scrolling under the screen. You can pick it and send us an audio about what you think about this topic. If you have any other thing to say, you can let us know through the number that is scrolling on the screen that you are watching. You want to read it, a time will be coming, we will sit down and discuss your comment. And yes, we will discuss your comment. If you want to sponsor this program, the number is there. Please contact us. You want us to
advertise.
If you want to advertise any of your product or your company or anything, you can send us hi or send us a message on the number that is scrolling under. Please share and like and comment to motivate us. God bless you. See you next time. Bye bye.